What is up, everybody? Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm your host for today's show, Rockin Robbie Billups. We've got a great one tonight. There is a really cool book on the horizon. I believe it releases in August, and it's been a long time coming, but it's Harley Quinn, Elvira, two of the most iconic women in pop culture colliding together, and you couldn't have a better writing team to put this together than the team that did more for Harley Quinn in modern days than anybody else. So let's bring them in. It's Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. What is up, y'all?
Oh, hey, guys.
To the show. And Amanda, you're not on the thumbnail. We just didn't know because you were up till like 10 minutes ago working, apparently. So
yeah, it was a late night for me last night.
Amanda does the all-night working thing.
I'm just such a night owl. You know, that's me. I think it's genetic. My dad used to be a night owl. Now he just, now he's not a night owl.
Now he's just an owl.
Yeah. And his mom was also a night owl. She used to, stay up late and do all the stuff that she wanted to get done while her kids were asleep. So yeah, I think it's a genetic.
Although we don't have any sleeping kids.
No, I just stay up all night because that's like my default setting.
I don't bother her at night when because I'm sleeping. So I'm not there to terrorize her.
y'all on like different schedules? Are you like the morning person, Jimmy?
Yeah, you used to be a night owl when you inked.
Yeah, when I was inking, I was a night owl, but when I was writing, I literally wake up and I go right to writing, and I find it's easier in the morning just to kind of get started and getting it rolled out. I also answer emails in the morning, and I answer her emails too. Because
I don't answer emails. I'm email averse.
Yeah, not the editor's favorite communicator.
Oh, that sounds like a great partnership then, right?
I'd rather not answer her emails, but I feel bad when they haven't learned to call her yet. For some reason.
Text me. Yeah, they can just text
or text her. They haven't learned to do that yet. They keep trying to email her, and what they now do is they copy me on it, so I see it. So I have to be the bad guy and say, "Hey, look, you haven't returned this guy's 5th email already," and she's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll get to that." And I'm just like, "Okay, I mean, he's waiting to hear from you," and that's a wonderful, fun conversation we have in our house all the time. So
I bet. Y'all still down in Florida? How's it down there?
We are. It's hot. Yeah, man. It's summer weather now.
Yeah, it's like it feels like August already. It's crazy.
I think it feels like 90, but I think it's like 85 or something today.
Yeah, 87 here. I'm in North Alabama, and
you're in Alabama, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, it feels so hot already, and it's not even July or August yet. What's going on, man?
My brother's in Kentucky, and he was complaining because he had 3 days in a row of 80-degree weather, and he's like, "I'm ready for the cold weather again." And I'm like, "Oh, come on, man!
Wow,
get outside and take a walk, will you?"
Well, y'all are like the power couple of comics. Like everybody loves you. You guys, if you have never met Jimmy and Amanda at a con, they are so awesome, so gracious, so fun. And we've had Jimmy on before, and we've had some great conversations. I initially first met you back in like the early 2000s during the Wizard World days, and Beautiful Killer was coming out and all that stuff. So what's it like? Okay, Elvira, Harley Quinn finally colliding. I feel like this is a no-brainer. This should have already happened. And
I know it's actually kind of shocking that it hasn't happened already.
Yeah. So what's this project like, and what's it like stepping back into Harley Quinn?
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because it's a DC Comics and it's Dynamite, right? So we have to get everything approved by all of them, and
that's the difficult part is like getting everybody to say yay or nay to stuff, and
Elvira.
Yeah, well, Cassandra Peterson has different like has like a different set of ideals than DC Comics. It's like DC's like, "Oh no, we can't do that. We might offend Cassandra Peterson." And I'm like, "Oh, this is not gonna offend Cassandra Peterson at all." And then Cassandra Peterson will, or her people will write in and say, "We can add this," and I'm like, "Oh, there's no way DC is gonna greenlight that." You know?
DC's been really good though. I mean, you know,
They've been
Chris,
great, yeah.
Chris and
Yeah.
Marie and those guys have been they kind of trust us with the character, which is nice, and it's fun, and you know, it's a little different because we also have Amanda's also drawing some pages in it. Obviously, not the whole book, but she's definitely doing some pages in it, and that's a little different, right? I mean, how does it feel drawing her again?
I love, you know, I mean, that's my default setting is drawing, you know, and making the art. Like writing is something I do because I'm a control freak, and Jimmy lets me.
Right? I let her. I let her. You hear that?
I'm a control freak, and I force Jimmy to to make me do you know, the writing thing, or you know, I insert myself in there. But I always would rather be drawing. That's what I love to do.
Yeah. Well, you want to show him a little bit? You because we could.
Yeah, you want to show us some of those pages?
Yeah.
Show you page 1. Yeah.
That's right. That's all right, baby. I'm doing because I just ignore me. I'm working while you're doing this. How about
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
I can't see.
You can't see. Oh, you can't see where he's going. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fine.
So here's page. Whoops. There we go. Page 1. So I'm kind of going in with my I have a style that I like to do.
Amanda's also coloring it.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Super cool.
Yeah. So I'm doing like the whole thing. There's some things that I want to try, and I'm sort of trying to channel my inner Chuck Jones and Maurice Noble sort of, you know, artistic abilities, you know, to the best that I can. Yeah. And you know, and I'm having fun with it. You know, I'm trying to have fun with it.
She's definitely following the Joe Kubert rule of if you don't need the dialogue to figure out what's going on the page.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it's all there without the lettering, which is kind of nice. I'm sorry because you did that really quick because I just want to give away if we go, you know, you can kind of tell what's going on without having the word balloons and stuff like that in it. And it's typical Amanda madness, you know. There's stuff going on all over the place, the background and all that stuff. It's not as black heavy because she's gonna actually do a lot of the work in the coloring.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited to see that. Are you coloring just your pages or the other pages as well?
Just my pages.
Yeah, just
yeah.
And who is the artist? Is it Juan?
I wouldn't foist myself on some poor artist.
Who is the artist? It's like Juan Samu? Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen any pages from them?
Yeah, his pages look great.
Yeah.
I mean, he sent us the first batch, and then Amanda had little notes because obviously that's Amanda.
I mean, also he doesn't like know the characters, you know, backwards like we do. So it's just like if I see something that's a little bit, you know, out of, you know, the characterization, I'll just, you know, say, hey, this guy has this a little bit,
right?
You know, but not much. You know,
maybe more notes from y'all than from Dynamite or from Cassandra. Then maybe, right?
You know, our notes are going to be limited. They're just going to be like something we notice with the character that, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that. Again, because we're so familiar with the Harley universe.
Yeah.
And the book takes place. So I think the last series we did for DC on Harley was Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, the 4-issue thing we did around when the movie came out. But it was
that the black label book, like the
it was the black, the big black label book. This book takes place right after that. So
cool.
So in continuity wise, we keep our continuity to the books we work on. So continuity wise, it happens right after that. So we're back in Coney Island. We have all the supporting characters that are in the Harley universe in this book, as well as, you know, Elvira.
Yeah.
And
Elvira, I mean, I'm so used to doing Harley. We're both so used to doing Harley, and Elvira is a totally new character. And I mean, not, you know, we've loved her since, you know, the 80s, but writing her character is more of a challenge because Cassandra knows her because, you know, that's her baby. And so we're getting notes you know, on that end, because it's like I haven't got a bead on how to write her perfectly just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, she definitely is a lot of sexual innuendos and
It's always funny.
and it's always a little kind of like eye rolling, you know, with her
Yeah.
character. And you described it perfectly. Amanda described their relationship, the characters perfectly.
Well, when we were the entire time we were writing Harley Quinn, we're like, okay, who do we think of when we're writing Harley Quinn? Bugs Bunny. You know, Harley Quinn is like human Bugs Bunny. And I was sort of trying to get a bead on how Elvira's character is. And I was like, who am I going to like think of, you know, other than Elvira herself when I'm writing Elvira, but who's like a good, like classic comedy figure? And I'm like, Groucho Marx. So it's like Bugs Bunny meets Groucho Marx.
Like it's sexual innuendo.
Like a really, really hot female Groucho Marx.
Yeah. I mean,
which is everybody's fantasy, right?
I mean, with Bugs Bunny, it was like with Harley, it wasn't that she would do Bugs Bunny, like it wouldn't be Bugs Bunny lines,
Right.
but it was that Bugs Bunny
With
tend to
personality.
like get into the middle of all the madness, cause chaos, and then walk away and let everything go nuts, you know?
Yeah.
So you know, that, so having that kind of model always helped us with like what would Harley do.
Yeah.
And of course she'd escalate the chaos and you know, that kind of fun stuff. Somebody's complaining that Sports 69.
Yeah.
I will sign the Pop Kills this weekend. Sorry about that.
Pop Killed.
Yeah, I didn't do a
Yeah.
book
Well, it was
called
like, what's Pop Killed?
The autocorrect was
I like the
was
idea.
on fire.
My next book will be Pop Killed, and nobody will buy it because we know it ends with a dog dying. But I will be there this weekend and to sign the book. There's a store near us, Emerald City Comics, and when the books come out, I usually go in and sign them, you know, just, you know, for free. Just people can take the signed edition or a regular one. So when I don't do it, I definitely have people ask me, where the hell are you? Why aren't you signing this? But we're going to be there. I think we're going to be there Saturday. So, you know, whatever. Take it easy, Audio Tech Sucks. It does. We're just having fun, dude. It's all good. We're just playing around.
He'll be there. And yeah, by the way, Pop Kill, which just wrapped up this last week, was awesome. Yes. Was absolutely great. I love that book. And I was like, I would watch this movie. Like two rival soda companies. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fun. It's sexy. It
is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's somebody asked me because it really did well. Like sales wise, it really did well for Mad Cave and for us. And someone asked me, why do you think that? And I said, because it's fun. I said, yeah. There's a point where I get all the comics are heavy and all that, but you have to have fun in there, and that's back to Harley and Elvira. This is a fun comic. There's a lot of stories going on in it, but there is a main story going on, but it is chaos. I mean, it is 6 issues of madness, and we have a lot of guest stars in the book and a lot of things going on that we can't talk about yet. But we're really excited. It comes out, I think, August 22nd, I want to say. Am I correct? No, 20th. August
20th, yeah.
Which will be here before we know it.
Yes.
But we're really excited about it, and the guys at Dynamite have been amazing. You know, Nikki and Joseph and all the crew, giving us this opportunity. Like I said, I'm so glad they called us on this. You know.
If they would have called anybody else, I would have been like ashamed of them, man. Like,
well,
honestly, I mean, like, I get it. I get David Avallone's done all the Elvira books so far, right? That's fine. But you get Harley Quinn mixed in here. So this is something I wanted to ask you was y'all are so familiar with Harley. Like it feels like Harley might be the third of your marriage, probably, right? Like if they, you know, but
pretty much.
What's your history with Elvira? Like I grew up a huge fan because I'm a big horror nut and I love Mistress in the Dark. And every time she did Movie Macabre, every time they would re-air that, like, what's your history with Elvira there?
I mean, you know, aside from absolutely loving her and wanting to be her when I grew up, you know, back in the 80s, I mean, I have a little tiny bit of history. I used to work for a company called Claypool Comics, and they used to put out the Elvira comic. And so I think I did Richard was the guy who ran everything.
Richard Howell.
Richard Howell. And he was like, I need you to do a couple of pages with Elvira as a baby. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So yeah, I've done drawings of Elvira as a baby.
Ooh, I wonder if we can add a flashback of baby Elvira in this book.
You should.
Then we can have the first appearance of baby Elvira was 30 years ago.
All of a sudden, Comic Tom's talking about that book on his top 10 of the week. He's like,
right. I will say, if that book ever became hot, talk about a book. There's not a lot of them printed, So talk about. I love rare comic stuff that like nobody, that would be one of them.
Yeah,
that would be one to track down. We got to get baby Elvira in there somehow. Okay. Maybe somehow Elvira and Harley get turned into babies by some crazy. We'll come up with something crazy.
That'd be great. It'd be like the X-Babies thing, right? Like Harley and Elvira as babies for at least a part
babies,
of it.
right? Like I just see the two carriages and one with like a baseball bat sticking out, a little baseball bat, and what would Elvira's have sticking out? A bat, an actual bat, an actual bat, like hanging down from the top of the little.
It's like her little like mobile is like a little bats.
Right, it's actual bats. And here's how comics are made.
Yes.
See, the book creates itself, y'all.
Yes.
That is kind of how a lot of comics are made. Sitting around with friends and going, wouldn't it be funny if this? And then going, wait a minute, we're comic creators. We can do that.
I love Raphael says that would be a good cover. It would be a baby, the baby version of them just on one of the covers, the chase covers.
Ooh, I'm going to do that. Thank you so much for that idea. I'm gonna do that.
Raphael.
See, everybody's
Thanks,
involved.
Raphael.
I love it. What's y'all's process like? I mean, yeah, getting together, just talking. Like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? Wait a second. We're writing the book. We can make this happen. How do y'all work together, like as a writing team?
We terrorize our editors because we'll pitch one thing and then as we're writing it, we change it. But we talk about what the goal is. Obviously, this is 6 issues for a reason because it's a story to beginning, middle, and end. We talk about the goal, right? We set the goal for ourselves. We talk it out. We agree on something, and then usually I'm the one that jumps in and starts writing it down on paper, and then Amanda comes in and changes it and messes with it and back and forth. But I will say, as I'm writing things, just like we just did right now, the idea of two of them as babies. My thing is, I don't think scripts need to be in stone. Like the outline needs to be in stone. I think there is something to say about, and also something to say about the Harley character that just when you think it's going to go one way, it always goes the other way. And for 100+ issues of Harley, we did that all the time. We said, here's the story, but how would Harley process this moment? And she would do something else. And that, I think that unpredictability was also the fun of the book. You never knew where the hell it was going because we were inside her brain, and her brain is not linear. She's not a linear person. So I think that's how this one's been working. And to answer somebody there, we're asking DC to reprint the omnibuses because they've been sold out. The 3 of them we did.
Yeah, it's not their decision. Right?
Well, they want to make sure if they do it again, it sells, but it is sold out. They are sold out and they're expensive. We did manage to get them to reprint the Power Girl book, which was a big success for them. So we're hoping that they do the same thing with the omnibuses. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I would like them to do your Harley Quinn run in one of those paperback compendiums they've been doing. They're like $60 for a giant like phone book. Like I love those things.
I sort of I do love like big chunky soft covers because like the hard covers are so. I mean, if you're like sitting at a nice big table and it's down on the table and you can like flip through the pages carefully, but otherwise it's really unmanageable. Like it's really hard to read that in bed.
You got to read it at a pulpit, right?
It is tough. I do like the $9.99 books though. They do the little small books.
Oh, those DC compacts, right?
Yeah, they have. I think they have one coming out in September. That's our first 10 issues in one of those, the $9.99.
Those things. So I run a comic shop too, right?
Yeah.
I've been running it for like 15 years at this point, but like that is like I can't keep those things in stock. It doesn't matter what book it is. Like those DC compacts go, and it's kind of like that manga thing, right? It's like a $10 book, low commitment, a lot of content.
Take it on a plane, take it on a bus.
Yeah, throw it in your bag, put it in your pocket, because everybody's wearing big pants again. The 90s are coming back. So
we like the 80s. The Harley collection comes out September 16th, the $9.99 one.
Word.
And I'm trying to talk them into doing a Power Girl one of the 12 issues in one book for $9.99. I think that would do really good in stores. And you know, for me personally, I want them to do a Jonah Hex $9.99 book, you know, one of those small ones.
Yeah.
Because all the Jonah Hex books I've done are out of print, completely out of print. They're all they are doing an omnibus of the All-Star Western book. They're doing that for fall. And I will put that out there. Anybody that brings me that omnibus at any convention, I will do a drawing in it for free.
All right, everybody, go pre-order your All-Star Western omnibuses right now, dude. You're gonna be super busy.
I don't mind. My thing is I want that to be a success, so they start doing the Jonah Hex books, you know.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, they just look at, you know, you get it. It's a business. They look at numbers, you know. So I'm hoping the All-Star Western gets ordered, and by me guaranteeing a drawing by anybody who brings it to me, I'd love to do it. I get to engage with the fans when I'm drawing, right? We get to hang out and talk. That's pretty much why I do the shows. You know that. You've met me at cons. We are not shy about hanging out and talking away, and you know, that's why we're there. So while I'm sketching, I was
telling you a little bit before the show that a couple years ago at Heroes Con, I had seen you there, and we were walking through. I was walking out of the bathroom at the Westin lobby, right? And I see y'all, and I was like, "Oh, my buddy Kevin's there with me." And Kevin's a professional artist. He's done work for Dynamite. He's done work for DC. He's done work, and he's at a point where he's just tired of it, man. He's tired of the runaround. He wants to do his own thing that he owns, that he can make. So we got together because of your advice, Jimmy. Because I was like, "Hey, man, this is Jimmy Palmiotti. Yo, this is my buddy Kevin. Do you have any advice?" And you were like, straight up, you were like, "Don't trust anybody in this business. Do your own thing and stick with it," right? You gave us a lot of great advice, and it was a great conversation. We hung out.
It was drunken advice too, right?
Yeah, but we were drunkenly receiving the advice
too. Be careful of the bitches. That was one of the things I think I said. No.
You're like, watch out for the groupies. And you're like, and that Nikki, you watch out for him because but
that you definitely
he will try to talk you down on that original art, man. He likes to buy that original art.
But no, you told us, you're like, whatever you guys want to do, just do your own thing and put passion into it. And that's what we've been doing for the last couple years.
That's great.
And we got some stuff we're going to be showing around at Heroes Con. We showed some stuff around to some people at MegaCon, and everybody was really digging it. And we showed it to like Dennis Camp, Jim Zub, David Pepos, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Famous Star Wars Conan cover artist.
Phil Noto?
No, not Phil Noto. What's his name? He's like old school. He's like paints and shit. Oh my God.
Joe Jesco?
Not Joe Jesco, no. Dan Dorman? Dave Dorman. Dave Dorman. Yeah.
You sure?
Because I was over there talking to Jim Zub, and I got him to sign a book. He goes, "No. You know that Dorman's here?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. I didn't even know." So yeah. But anyway, Thank you for that advice. It's been really cool. We are you guys going to be at Heroes Con this year?
We are. That's in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a two. We are. We're bringing the whole setup. I think Amanda's going to be drawing there too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope I get a chance to. I love drawing at conventions. Like sometimes it just gets too overwhelming, but when it's not, I'm like, yeah, I'll do some drawings.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, when we see y'all, we may try to show you some stuff and see what you think about it, because it was definitely inspired by y'all, man. And our idea is this: what if Rob Liefeld met Jack Kirby? It was like Rob Liefeld meets Jack Kirby, but like, what if the initial goal was, what if we did an Image book in 1993? What would it be? What would we do? Right. So we came up with this really ridiculous, fun concept because comic books can be serious. We can talk about Persepolis. We can talk about Asterios Polyp. We can talk about all this stuff. But what really brings us into comics is that sense of fun. And y'all together really bring that sense into your Harley Quinn work. I'm really excited for this Elvira book. Amanda, since you're here, I got a question I've been wanting to ask you for a while.
Okay.
All right. What did you think of the Barbie movie? Because one of the first times I ever saw your name was back in the day. And yeah, they were my sister's comics, but yeah, I was reading those Barbie comics too. It was really cool stuff, man. What did you think about the Barbie movie? I'm just curious.
I loved it. I thought it was so fun and it was like, it's all the stuff that I wish that Mattel had let us do back in the early 90s doing the Barbie comic.
Like the existential crisis that Barbie goes through.
Yeah, I would love to have done, like it was a different time back then. It was like they were way stricter with their intellectual property, so everything, Barbie had to be like unimaginably slim, and and it drove me nuts to work on that comic, because at the time her entire emotional range was between pleasantly satisfied and somewhat happy. That was like all we were allowed to do with her. And so it was really refreshing to see people be able to go further with the character in the movie. They're so lucky.
With the success of that movie, I'm just saying, Mattel, if anybody's listening at some point to this show, a reboot in the comics would be really cool. Like, I'm just saying, that the Barbie audience has grown up. And so, yeah, that would be really cool. One more thing. I know I got to let y'all get back to work, but Jimmy, first time you were ever on my channel, you said, "Hey, man, I love all those action figures you have behind you." Yes. And I said, "Well, I really need an Ash action figure." And you said, "Go to eBay." Bro, I did. I got my Ash glow-in-the-dark action figure right here, man.
That was also the first. If you look at who made the toy on the back, you see it says Dynamite, right?
Dynamic Forces, yeah, their logo right there. Look at that.
That was their first toy they ever did. Was the Ash toy? That's Nikki.
The one that Sean sculpted?
Sean Nagel sculpted. I still have the. I still have the original sculpt. This is. I'm gonna break everything here. This is made out of
resin?
Resin. He sculpted this.
Oh wow!
But that's what the toy is based on. So,
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I still have the original. Sean Nagel is the artist.
He's a hell of a sculptor, man.
And I've had this for 30 years. This thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and
if you look at it,
you see that right there. That's so cool.
That's the plastic version. This is the original. This is the one of one. He even screwed it to the bottom of the. Look at that. He screwed it to the bottom. It's not going anywhere.
I love that.
But when he did this one, and then he did this. Years later, when Joe Casado and I were doing Exo Zero, he made 30 of these for us because we gave them away as gifts. And
oh wow.
Yeah, he took the cover. You see the paint's chipping off. It's old, but it's another thing that's resin. But we made 30 of them, and we gave them out to the people at Valiant as a thank you because the book sold over 2 million copies. Like we did very well, and we wanted to give something back to everybody in the bullpen and everybody that worked hard on the book. So everyone got one of these.
That's so cool.
And
the Barbie movie is the definition of the girls and the gays.
Yeah, I'll show you. This is what it looks like before paint. So I had one done. It was before it was painted. So.
Oh.
Yeah. It's all resin. You see, it's like he pours it in a mold like that, pours it on the top, and it's like this foam around it, and they just separate it. And I think he made 30. Sean made 30 of them.
That's so cool. The archives of Jimmy Palmiotti.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see when after I die, you'll see it on like what's the auction house? Heritage Auctions.
Heritage
It'll be like the Jimmy Palmiotti collection, and then you'll see Amanda like in Mexico with a big cigar on the beach, drinking a that's it. We made some good money from that stuff.
Michael wants to know that you two are legends, and in
Thank you,
particular,
Michael.
Michael loves your art, Amanda.
Thank you.
Hey, show him another page from the book, just to tease another book page from the
Let's
Harley.
do it. Let's do it.
Harley
Dynamite
Ivy
won't
number
mind.
one.
Dynamite won't mind.
Harley
DC
Ivy
probably
won't
hates
I mean
this
Harley
book.
Ivy. I'm sorry, Harley Elvira. I always see those two together. So there's another
Meeting the boy troopers.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love the brick panel borders right there. That's so cool.
finger. I like this last panel is my favorite. Her shirt gets caught in the subway door. So you have to figure out what happens. Not too hard to figure out.
You got to turn the page. Everybody's going to be like quickly turning that page. They're going to rip it out, brother.
Well, I'll tell you, because I would say like 80% of the comics now are drawn digitally. We know that because when we go to cons, a lot of guys don't have original art anymore. But Amanda, you still do a traditional style.
It depends on what I'm doing. I was really in the mood to draw a traditional comic page with these. There's a few other panels in the book that I've done, and I just did them digitally just because for
Time.
the sake of doing it quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, she still has all
I
the.
prefer. There's just something about like pencil and pen on paper. It just feels good. It's just there's something really great about. It's just something so organic, and yeah, I love it. I prefer doing it that way.
And I collect comic art, so
Yeah.
So I appreciate that she's still doing the art that way.
And the comic book art world has boomed lately, right? Like it really has. My buddy Kevin is doing our book. He's doing it digitally so he can do it quicker. But he's like, man, I really wish I had those original pages because he's the same way, man. Like, and I'm the same way too. Ink on paper. Whenever I go to Heroes Con, there's always like a group of guys that have like their portfolios and they're always willing to share what they have. And you're looking at Daniel Warren Johnson pages or Bill Sienkiewicz pages. And you're just like, I can see the toothbrush specks there, man. It's so freaking cool. I love it, man.
Oh,
look, that's whiteout. Like I'm such a nerd. I'm like, that's whiteout on the page. You can feel it. Look at that.
You can't, especially Bill Sienkiewicz's pages. His pages are 3-dimensional. And I used to be his assistant back in the late 80s, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, mid-80s.
That's so cool, Amanda. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, it was.
That's a Bill painting right there. It was a movie poster. That's the original.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's.
Look how big it is.
It's huge.
It's gigantic. It's like Amanda's backdrop. Look, that should be your backdrop from now on.
That's like a Jeff Darrow page, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Bill used to use every medium. It's like, he'd come back from lunch with, like a Hershey bar. Oh, I'll try that. It's like he'll use anything.
I'll tell you a funny story. So this is another book I write monthly, right? Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger.
You're doing a great job there too, bro. You're doing a great job.
Patrick,
you're scratching that. You love Westerns, don't you, Jimmy?
I do, and this is a different kind. It's kind of crazy. But Patrick was drawing the book, and Patrick Reynolds, and he's doing a beautiful job. But when I saw him, I finally met him in Seattle at Emerald City Con. And I said, I hope you're drawing it on paper. And he goes, oh, no, I'm doing it in digital. And I'm like, Patrick, you could have had all the art to a #1 gunslinger book. And he's like, oh, I didn't even think it. I said, do me a favor, in the future, anytime there's a splash, do it in pen and ink. Like, one day you might have to retire or feed your children or something, and you'll have that art in a drawer, Well,
there's not, we've talked about this before, Jimmy, even here on the channel. There's not a lot of money in comics, right? So everything that y'all can do, and that is something that artists and creators are able to do, is sell their original artwork. I'm glad that we finally, that was a battle fought by many people, for a long time.
Look, 90% of the stuff you see behind us is shoplifted. Okay, Amanda's got real. She's really good at that. Like she goes stuff like, "Hey, look over there, there's Elvis," and then she's like, "Shut."
Just throw it in there, right?
She's really really good at that.
But they're
by
huge
the
art
way,
collectors out there, right? And they love that stuff.
Actuality, I am a terrible shoplifter. I've tried and I just panic and I'm like, I can't do this. This is illegal.
It was when you were 12? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I went through this phase when I was 12 where I was like the best at stealing airheads from the grocery store. Like,
I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna end this on my story of shoplifting. Heather knows this story. So, I'm maybe like 13 or 14, right? And I go to a Macy's in Brooklyn, and I steal a 35 millimeter camera, a zoom lens, and 2 other lenses because I want everything, right? And a flash. And it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. I have this big jacket and everything. And I'm just out the door, and this guy grabs me. And he goes, "Where do you think you're going, kid?" Okay, next thing, I'm in a room, right? And with this desk, this metal desk, in this cinder block wall room. And the guy comes in, and he has the only thing on the desk is a phone. And he's like, "All right, give me the phone number of your house. We're calling your parents." And I give him the phone number, and I'm listening, and my dad picks up, and, the guy's like, "We caught your son shoplifting. He's young. We can't really do anything, but we need you to take care of him, make sure, blah, blah, blah." Okay. I'm sitting there, the beads of sweat are going down me. I'm like, in my head, I'm never stealing anything again. Because the worst part is I have to go home to my dad. And my dad was in World War II. My dad has his own business. You do not mess with my dad. He's the sweetest guy, but this was like new. And I remember taking the bus home, and it was like the longest ride ever. I mean, I was on this bus, and I didn't want to get off. Like, I saw my stop coming, and I'm like, I got to deal with my dad. This is going to be bad, really bad. And I get home, and I go through the front door, and I open the door, and there's my older brother, Tony, and he goes, "You're so lucky I answered that phone." He goes, "You owe me, man." Because he made believe he was my dad.
Oh, what a great brother.
Yeah. Let's just say I had to work for that. But I've never stolen another thing again for the rest of my life after that, because I figured I got spared. Because my
brother would have been like, "Dad,
yes.
The police are on the phone."
Yes. So I got spared, but I did learn my lesson. I never stole again. And as somebody told me when I was young, if you're gonna steal big, because when you get caught, it's the same thing. So I went for like $600 worth of equipment. I was like, okay, let me get everything then. If I'm gonna get busted. Stupid. My life of crime was ended really quick.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. All right, Harley Quinn, Elvira in August, 6 issues, written by y'all, drawn by Amanda and Juan. Very excited for this. It's going to be dope. It's going to be awesome. Anything else coming up y'all got to plug before we dip out of here?
Somebody was asking if Amanda still does covers for DC. I saw that in there. And you just did that one for the show you like, the Peacemaker. So you did the Peacemaker cover for them. And you got some Marvel covers coming up.
I forgot. I'm like so hyper focused on the thing that's on my desk. You asked me what I did last week. I'm like,
She's still doing covers here and there.
Yeah.
But most of it right now it's Harley. Our focus is on Harley and Elvira. So that's where we are now.
Yeah.
I'm glad people came to join us. Look, we had
everybody.
Time we started.
Thank you for coming to see us.
Danny
this got
D.
thrown together randomly last night, y'all. If we would have known a little bit beforehand, we would have promoted a little bit more and got people here. But you know what? Y'all can watch it on the replay. And if you're watching on the replay, let us know that you did so in the comments and go check out the book. Amanda, Jimmy, y'all are so awesome. Y'all are the power couple. Y'all are the cutest couple in comics. Seriously. I love y'all so much.
We're behind Walt and Weezy.
Yeah, I think Walt and Weezy are a lot cuter than us, but whatever. It's all
okay,
good.
Maybe. You're probably right about that, because when we were at Heroes Con, they were like 2 rooms down from us in the hotel room. So I shared a lot of breakfasts and elevator rides with those 2, and they're great. My buddy was wearing a Rob Liefeld Deadpool shirt, and Walt Simonson looked at Weezy and then pointed at the shirt and goes, "Who's that guy?" And I was like, "Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer that."
he knew exactly what it was.
Yes,
Walt.
he did.
He is a sweet. They are both just wonderful. There's a lot of great people in comics, you know. So we're just happy. Look, we're happy to be here with you and the fans, and we're, you know, hopefully we'll see you guys at WonderCon, and hopefully some of the people on the channel as well. Not WonderCon, I'm sorry, HeroesCon.
HeroesCon.
So many cons.
Yeah.
So many cons.
Heck yeah, we'll be there. I'm gonna pop in and say, "What's up, y'all?" And I'll even
Awesome.
bring this Ash action figure for you to sign, Jimmy.
Absolutely, buddy. You got it. I'll take
All
care
right.
of you.
We're dipping out. They got to get back to work. We love
Yep.
you. Thank you so much. Station Pop Pop.